Hello and welcome to the World Classic Powerlifting Championships 2022. Presented by Eleiko and SBD, we are live in Sun City, South Africa in this, the IPF's 50th anniversary year. My name's Joe Whiteley. I'm here with the one and only Ryan Lapidat. And Ryan, we've had a cracking competition so far.
So far, it has been everything we had hyped it up to be. In day one, France swept the 59 kilo men's, 52 kilo women's, and the 47 kilo women's. Today we have the 57 kilo women's on this platform, and it is the return of Britain's own Joy Namani defending her title against a star-studded cast. We have people like fellow Brit Bobby Butters, former world champion Maria T, and New Zealand is back at the IPF World Championships with Evie Corrigan, junior world champion, moving up. But France still has a contender, don't they?
Jade Jacob she's actually, if you look at the predicted totals right now, she's sitting in second with some massive nominated openers. But we know that nominated openers aren't necessarily what the lifters come out for.
Jade Jacob, also a former world champion in the juniors, moving up, and you're 100% right. Look at nominations projected based off of openers. It's all good, but the platform is where it's going to get decided, and a lot of movement can happen there, especially with a pack this tight.
Now I would say you can't bet against Joy Namani, but she's struggled a little bit on squat recently, and she doesn't always get all her deadlifts in.
You know what? Despite the fact that Joy Namani, two-time world champion in the 52s, moved up to the 57s, won the title there, she's phenomenal, but she is human, and she's going to be pushed today by other ladies who have also won world titles. They're not intimidated, and they want what she has.
So we are underway already in the 57 kilo class. We're running this as two groups because we have more lifters than we can fit into one group. First up, we have Mayumi Honda from Japan, and she's opening with an 80 kilo squat.
She's previously hit 107.5. I'm assuming this is going to move well.
First international, it's got to be nervous.
Oh, no question on depth.
Nice depth, but she seemed to kind of have a bit of a nervous moment at the bottom. Knees came in, but the weight was certainly no problem.
Yeah, depth was maybe more than she needed.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe just making absolutely certain of that opener.
Right.
And we have Juliette Molly from Zimbabwe coming out next. 19 years old and competing in the open. She's opening with 90 kilos.
Can't imagine being a teenager at the IPF World Championships in the mix with stars like they got in the 57 kilo class. It's just a hats off to someone like Agata in the 76s.
Certainly the weight presented no problem, but it wasn't quite deep enough. We both hesitated there.
Well, I let you go first, but I could tell with your wording you're waiting for the lights to show.
Absolutely.
But if I'm honest, I was as well. But you're right. The weight wasn't an issue. She could retake it, and she should be okay.
So again, it's her first international. She can now calibrate what's expected and come out and sink it just that little bit further. Yui Okawa, Japan, for 115. Another lifter in her very first World Championships.
Previously hit 122.5 kilo. Again, this should be well within her means, but there are factors like travel, time zone change, and if you had to cut weight, it's a lot more difficult when you got to take a plane.
We know that a lot of people have had travel difficulties coming in through storms and problems with airlines.
I'll raise my hand to that one. I can tell you firsthand. All part of it. Wow.
Yeah, nice technique. We do expect that from the Japanese team.
That's exactly as you'd expect an opener to look. Get yourself on the board. Nothing overly strenuous. You got 2 more squats to go.
Antoinette Kriel, from local lifter from South Africa. She's an M2 competing in the Open. That's impressive. As an M2 lifter, I can tell you it's very impressive to make the grade for the Open team. 115 on the bar.
She's previously hit 123 kilo, judging by the increment there, assuming that's a national record or record of some sort.
Very nice. Give us some confidence.
Yeah, the first squat is probably the most nerve-wracking. You've built this moment up for how long now? You know, from the Nationals to the World Championships, all the hype that's gone into it. Right before you hit that platform, the nerves are at their peak.
We have USVI's Priscilla Del Moral coming out next for 125.
Del Moro has hit 130. Makes easy work 125.
And she's not far off her current best already.
Might be 130 next.
Yeah, depth for sure. So next out we have Louise Murray from Portugal. Now I remember Louise Murray as being a British lifter. She's Scottish and she lifted for Britain a few years ago. Lifted in the equipped as well as the classic. So it was a bit of a surprise to see her here for Portugal. She's looking for 125. The graphic that's up on your screen at the moment, if you keep your eye on that, it will tell you the lifters' ranking in the competition at the top bar, tell you their weight class in the top left, and the bottom bar will populate with their lifts as they do them. So that was 125 for Louise Murray.
Looks pretty good, and so far we haven't had any squats where
Ryan.
overly. No, well,
No,
hang on,
don't
hang
jinx
on,
anyone.
hang on. I was gonna say overly strenuous. I didn't
Okay.
I didn't say miss.
Oh, okay. I'll let you on. Matilda Østergaard from Denmark for 127.5. European lifters, they've had quite a long journey, but we're in the same time zone as Europe, so at least they don't have that jet lag issue. Okay, it looked easy. I think it should be just in. No, not quite in.
Let's take a look at this slow-mo replay here.
Well, from the side we're looking at, she got a white.
Yeah, and that looks about right as well.
Yeah.
So, but the hips don't always rest evenly. One hip usually floats a little bit higher.
But it was certainly, the weight was very easy, so I'm sure she'll get that next time. And we have another South African lifter, Sasha Payne, for 130.
Opening up 10 kilo below her personal best, giving herself some room to grow. Possibly exceed that personal best on her third. Ooh,
Now that's a tough one.
a little bit of work there for an opener.
She kind of puffed out her cheeks. I think that was harder than she wanted it to be.
Especially, I mean, if it's 10 kilo below her personal best, and she's a local lifter as well, so this isn't, you know, travel time zone change factors.
Didn't spot any obvious technical errors there.
You can brush up on technique before your second. You're not going to get a lot stronger.
So we're through to the second round. Just a reminder that we're running as 2 flights. So all of the first flight will do all 3 squats before we see the second flight come out. And this is Juliet Mulif from Zimbabwe for 90. retaking 90. It wasn't deep enough, was it?
That's right. Weight looked good, though, in terms of the attempt selection, so just has to drop it a little bit lower. She should be okay. It's a pretty high bar squat.
It is.
That's probably good. Let's see what the judges say, though.
Yeah, I think that should be good. No.
Nope. What do I know? Let's take a look at these reviews. Uh-oh, she looks upset, though.
Yeah, she's going to have to... Coach is going to have to get her calm down now.
You can't take it with you. That's a borderline call.
Borderline.
You know, you got to leave it on the platform, though. You can't bring it with you. You got one more to go.
3 red lights, so you can't argue with 3. If 3 referees turn down your squat, then it absolutely wasn't deep enough. And we have Mayumi Honda from Japan coming out now for 100. She's gone up 20 kilos, but her opener was super easy.
Some people like opening extremely light. Take a big jump for the second, smaller jump for the third.
She was super deep as well, wasn't she? So maybe this one will be not quite.
Yeah, I think
deep.
her hamstrings clapped against her calves at the bottom. It was super deep. Much more shallow.
Should still be good, I think.
Yeah.
And maybe that's characteristic, the way her knees come in as she comes up. Maybe that's characteristic of her squatting style. There is no one right way to squat. And of course, Leah Bavoil, she does have some of that knee cave, and you wouldn't tell her she doesn't know the right way to squat.
No, you would not.
Yui Okawa from Japan is now coming out for 120, gone up 5. Quick practice before she comes under the bar.
Well, sometimes you got to loosen up those hips. 5 kilo jump, 2.5 kilo below her personal best.
Nice.
Moved well. Picks up 5 more kilo towards her total.
And we have Antoinette Kriel from South Africa coming out now for 122.5. M2 lifter, she's right up against her current best, 123. We can see the rankings on that graphic from 5 to 4, but this is just the first flight of 57s.
Nicely done.
I think she's got a bit more left there. If the 123 was a national masters record, she could be breaking it on her next attempt.
She definitely has paced herself for that.
And next we have Matilda Østergaard from Denmark, 127.5.
Bars loaded, 127.5 kilos, Østergaard, Denmark.
No, this was depth again, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. Strength is there, just needs to drop a little bit lower. And it was real close. Okay, that looks good.
Yeah, that was much better.
Good lift, good lift.
She's on the board.
Second attempt to that weight, good lift, 130 on the bar now. Priscilla
Now's the conversation. Do you think she goes with her plan second, or do you think she goes with her plan third?
Well, I think she's used some energy because that second attempt wasn't as fast. So it's a difficult call. Hopefully she's her coach is familiar with the training and understands where to go from there. Priscilla Del Moral from USVI. 130 on the bar. Very deep. I think maybe it's a little hard to bring up because it was so deep.
Picks up another 5 kilo though. No question on depths there. Gets a bit of bounce at the bottom. Has to catch herself on the way up. Fight through a sticking point.
35 kilos for Murray, Portugal.
And here we have Louise Murray, Portugal. Open with 125. She's gone up 10 kilos. No stranger to the international platform, but we haven't seen her for quite a while. I think maybe 2017, 2018.
Oh, wow.
So a little bit of a gap there. Looks a bit nervous. She's got quite long femurs, so the way she sits back, I wouldn't like to judge depth from this side. But the referees are in a much better position, and that was a good lift. Yeah, she sinks it well in. What do you think about the descent, though? She seemed quite nervous of the weight.
Maybe tentative. It's hard to tell sometimes. Some of these lifters, it's kind of how they squat. You're more familiar with her, obviously, but yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what she puts in for her third.
Sure. So we have Sasha Payne now, RSA, for 140.
10 kilo jump, and that's sizable. That'll change things.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 10 kilos was a bit too much.
And that's the thing, when you want to cover a lot of ground, you have a low opener, and you shoot a big shot on your second, you really left yourself not a lot of room, right? If now it's your opener that's quite a bit ways back, moving towards your total if you can't get a third in. And that looked like it's going to be very difficult to get it on another attempt.
that did look like a strength fail, not a technical fail. So difficult to bring that back, as you say. So this is round 3 of the first flight of 57s. And we have Juliette Molif from Zimbabwe coming out for the third time for 90 kilos. Her second was better than her first. Just needs a little bit extra.
Honestly, I thought the second was right borderline. If she's got to drop it lower, it's just a stitch. It's all or nothing now. That's definitely it. Oh, wow. She left no doubt that time.
She looked like she was going to stop, and then she just kept going down.
You know,
Massive relief.
Talk about a dramatic entrance into the IPF World Championships for that young lady. Some character building. Look at, she stopped for a second, thought, you know what, maybe I'll go a little deeper. That's where I stopped last time.
Yeah, just keep going. So she is on the board. We are leaving no one behind. And here's Mayumi Honda from Japan for 110.
10 kilo jump. Now, Honda took a 20 kilo jump from her opener. It's dicey. You're guaranteeing you're getting on the board, but if you miss your second, it's only 80 kilo going towards your total. Ended up getting 100 kilo. Now she's jumping 10 kilos. She likes the big jumps. Probably trains that way.
It was some effort, though, her second. Her opener was super easy, up 20. Her technique was great, but it wasn't. She had to do some work to get that up.
No technical breakdowns yet. Let's see if 10 more kilo will do it, though.
Uh-oh, no. No, just a little bit too much. So that gives her a best of 120 in the squat. Do you know what? I don't think that was a strength thing. I think she got to the bottom and her knees kind of flicked forward. But she doesn't get another go. So we have Yui Okawa, Japan, for 125.
5 kilo jump for Okawa and a 2.5 kilo personal best if she can complete it.
I love all the little rituals that lifters do before they squat, but she got the squat command with about 15 seconds to go last time, so she's cutting it fine.
Yeah, you're right. She likes to take up a little bit of time.
Which is fine as long as you don't get a re-rack command.
Oh, wow. It's hard, but
She fought that for a long time.
I wonder if she got the re-rack command if she would start a ritual right from the beginning.
Now that was, even though she was fighting against that for such a long time, there was no form breakdown at all. She just wavered and then it was too much. So we have a world record squat. I said it might be a national M2 record. It is a world M2 record for Antoinette Creel of South Africa.
We stand corrected.
130 kilos on the bar. Her second looked good.
Ooh, what a fight. Oh, wow.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Hats off to her. That was
She
a hell of a
deserves
fight.
that. She absolutely deserves that. We're going to see that back. So it gets difficult here, and she pushes and pushes and just keeps going. That's a phenomenal squat and a new M2 world record. Takes that from Joe Aita, USVI. And here we have another USVI lifter, Priscilla Del Moral, for 135.
This will be a 5 kilo personal best for Priscilla. Oh, looked like she might fight through the sticking point, but just a stitch too much.
Very deep, like all her squats have been. Maybe if she can just fine-tune that a little bit more. But she's relying on the stretch reflex, isn't she, to get some bounce out of the hole.
It's her squatting style. It's a tough thing to start fresh and do over.
Matilda Østergaard, now from Denmark. She missed her opener, but she came back strong. No, in fact, her second was a struggle, wasn't it? It was a tough one, and she's gone up 10 kilos.
We'll see if it's overly ambitious.
137.5 kilos.
Sometimes when the weight gets a little heavier, the lifters find a new gear and can complete it.
And she has done.
She has almost a sigh of relief afterwards, like she came out there, I don't know, I'm not sure, and then, well, okay, it is there after all.
So, as you say, I wonder if that was the plan all along, to take 137.5 for her third. And now we have Sasha Payne for her second attempt at 140.
Ooh.
No, just not quite there today.
Yeah, similar to the second attempt at 140.
Leaves her with the best of 130.
Last lift in the third round for the A flight, 140 kilos. Luís Murray, Portugal.
spotters kept her safe there. We have the last lifter coming out now in the first flight, Louise Merry for 140 kilos. Clock's ticking, but she has to finish wrapping her wrists before she gets past the TC. That's a narrow hand position. That's some shoulder mobility.
I was about to say, I'm jealous of the shoulder mobility.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, it was very slow.
Slowed but never completely stopped.
2-1, a good lift for Louise Merry at 140.
See on the descent, she dips into the hole. Knees threaten to come in. She forces them back out here and completes that lift.
So we are now moving into the second flight. And here comes Martina Maltzova from Czechia for 135.
To tell you how deep this class is, on the second flight, 4 of these ladies have won world championships, whether in the open or juniors.
Wow. A little bit of hesitation at the bottom. But it's a good lift and she's on the board.
140 on the bar now. Anastasia Hein, Germany.
And next out we have Anastasia Hein, Germany, opening with 140. This is her current PB.
We're about to find out just how good training's been.
Well, she looks happy.
I follow her on Instagram, and yeah, she should be able to handle this. She doesn't look overly nervous.
No.
She looks confident, enjoying the moment.
I don't think we've seen her at Classic Worlds before.
Super low bar.
It is, isn't it?
As long as she's upright enough to get the squat command, there it is.
Easy.
Yeah, moved well.
Ah, now a yellow card from a side referee.
42.5 on the bar now. Donna Berglund, Sweden.
That's interesting on a squat. I couldn't honestly say what that was for. The yellow card covers a multitude of sins.
2.5 kilos for Berglund of Sweden.
Here we have Donna Berglund from Sweden. Quite a famous lifting family.
Donna's brother, Eddie, junior world champion, will be competing later on today for possibly an open world title.
Donna is opening at 142.5. We know her for her massive bench,
Oh, wow.
but that was an easy squat.
White lights and a good lift for Berglund at 142.5.
So Anna Rikun of Ukraine took her single lift bench record last week in Kazakhstan. So I'm sure she'll be looking to take that back. In the meantime, we've got Mylene van der Speck, Netherlands, for 147.5.
Bars loaded, 147.5 kilos, under spec, Netherlands.
She took the bronze at the Europeans in December. I think this is her first Worlds. Very nice.
Yeah, that's how you want your opener to look. Smooth, get yourself on the board, but it still works, so it's honest. If disaster strikes and you got to move forward with it, it's going to actually contribute towards your total. Not dig yourself too far of a hole by playing it too safe. Now, do you know this young lady? Are you familiar?
I am familiar with this young lady.
Okay.
I was at her very first British Championships in 2015 in Bournemouth, and she was, I think she only deadlifted like 167 that day, but it was clear she was a star in the making. And here she is, undefeated at this level, I think.
Yeah, the last time I'd seen her not win was 2017 Belarus. I think she took a bronze overall or something of rather.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was bronze. So undefeated since 2018 then.
That's a nice run. That's a nice run. Ooh.
That looked a bit shy, didn't it?
Are they going to like that depth?
No. She's had problems. She had problems at the British Women's and in Halmstad for resting her elbows on her legs when she squatted. Now she's corrected that, but I think she's lost a bit of depth in the meantime.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
just
definitely
not
high.
quite. So, in the meantime, we have Evie Corrigan on the platform for the first time since Helsingborg, maybe?
New Zealand was locked down, but Evie has won world titles as a junior, now returns in the Open. And Joy Namani, look, she's a monster in the 57s, but she has never seen a 57-kilo class that's chasing her this deep. Evie is amongst those contenders coming for her throne.
Easy, a little bit of unconventional style, but the weight came up very well.
Yeah, it's just the levers that Evie has. She's got a big deadlift, but she's going to be well in the hunt. Moved well.
Now this is interesting. We have the world record holder in the squat coming out with two lifters coming out for heavier squats. So there is Bobby Butters. She took the, was it the silver or the bronze last year? I think she took the silver last year.
It was the silver, yeah.
And she took the silver at the British Classic behind Joy.
She is as intense a lifter as you're going to find. Approaches her openers with the type of intensity some people approach her thirds. And she can maintain that pace, believe me.
She's a great squatter.
A major title threat for Joy. Oh.
Now that looks to me like getting an easy one on the board.
Listen, if Joy missed her opener and has to decide, do we retake that weight? That is trouble when Bobby Butters is that on.
Well, Bobby's world record is 180.5 and she squatted 185 at the British Women's. So I'm hoping she's going to take a big jump now and go for it.
The top 5 here are all world champions, world record breakers.
We have Jade Jacob from France coming out for 167.5. This is a big opening squat.
The current junior world champion now in the Open, and there was a lot of hype on her. What she's been doing in training has a lot of people excited. Obviously on Team France, a major contender to take the national team title. They got a lot of stars on that team, and she is among them.
And she's still a junior, so we have junior world records on the table.
She looks strong.
That was easy.
Yeah, very, very strong. Look, if you're watching the openers to get an indication where these world champions and world record breakers are in the top 5, they're on point. And Joy missed her opener. The battle is on. If Joy had a bit of a lead going in here, the margin is diminished.
So we have the last lifter coming out in class, Maria T from Canada. I think you're familiar with this young lady.
2019 gold medalist, Canada's Golden Girl, was behind, missed her second deadlift, loaded up for the win with her third, and became the first female in the Open for Canada to win the World Championships. Here she is, wants her title back, 170 to open with. Oh.
And she has made a great start to that campaign.
Now
Maria was the silver medalist last year, not Bobby. It was Maria.
Was it Maria? Okay.
It was. So we are going to see a fight for this now, especially, like you say, with Joy missing her opener. And those are the standings as we have them right now, with T leading the way from Jacob from Butters, with Joy Namani not on the board.
Yeah, who would have thought that? Now, Joey, obviously, all types of strong. She could bounce back, but she has chosen to retake that weight, and that has to set her back in this.
You know Joy, she'll put whatever she needs on the bar to deadlift for the win. But we have Martina Maltzova from Czechia for 145 on the platform right now.
It's going to be interesting in the commentary. We have a Brit and a Canadian.
Ah.
Let's stay civil. Let's stay civil. Ooh, wow. She's a fighter, though.
Right. Wow, what a grind.
Hats off to her for completing that. She's not going to have a lot of kilos left in her,
No.
though.
But she got that 145. Maybe just put 2.5 on the next one. Yeah, no obvious errors, just very heavy. So we have Anastasia Hein waiting to come out for 145.
Opened up with a personal best, but it was smooth. Looked appropriate. 5 kilo jump. She should have it.
I love to see lifters enjoying the competition this much.
That's your moment. You got to appreciate it and embrace it.
I always think competitions is type 2 fun. I enjoy it afterwards. I enjoy having done it.
Looking back.
Yeah. I'm always very nervous on squats. Looks good.
Yeah, that looked very well. Yeah, moved well.
Again, we've got a yellow card from this side referee. Just watch that carefully again. I cannot see what that's for.
Yeah, I don't see any infractions.
Files loaded. 150 kilos, Berglund.
So here comes Donna Berglund from Sweden for 150.
This will be a 2.5 kilo personal best for Donna. 142.5 moved very easily. Expecting a 7.5 kilo jump to be no major ask. Honest work, but
Yep. Fast down. It's quite a risky strategy, but it's worked really well for her. And Mylene van der Speck, Netherlands, is coming out next for 155. 7.5 kilo jump.
Files loaded. 155 kilos, Van der Speck.
this will match her previous personal best.
Beautiful squat. And now we have Joy Namani coming out to retake her opener, which was uncharacteristically shallow.
And it wasn't, exactly that. It wasn't necessarily even borderline yet, so there's going to be quite a bit of adjustment to drop it into the hole. She obviously is strong enough.
Yep.
It's just if she had to change her stance at all, it's just a matter of finding that depth, if it feels right.
Got Paul Marsh sending her out there. He's worked with her for a long time. He's not a coach, but has trained with her for
He's a
years now.
Phenomenal coach for handling on Team Britain. That's better.
Better.
That's better. There it is. Let's see what the judges say.
She looks happier.
Yeah, I think she knows she hit it that time. Nope. Never mind.
It was
take a look at
certainly
this.
deeper.
Let's take a look at the replay. There's no whites to contest it at all.
No.
Okay, you know what?
yeah.
Now that I look at the replay, I
It's
take it.
difficult from the front view with the long femur lifters, isn't it?
We're not on the platform. Looking at the review, it was a little high.
I think
Wow.
she was right to feel that it was better. It was certainly better.
It was better. It was better.
Not
and she,
quite there.
what's concerning is she was smiling, so now she's really fighting to find the range, and she's got one attempt left.
She's opening the door here.
Wouldn't that be a story if she bombs out on squats? I don't want to get ahead of myself here. If anyone could pull it around, Joey
I don't
can.
think anyone wants to beat Joy Namani that way.
Well, this is how sports
we'll take
unravel
what you can get,
sometimes. Right?
So here's Evie Corrigan, 167.5 on the bar.
What a fighter.
Oh no, it's not going. No, no lift. No, she was quite tentative into the hole. But is that just too heavy?
It looked like she might fight through it for a moment, and it just became a little too much. It depends.
So Jade Jacob, Team France, for 172.5 to break her own junior world record.
Jade made easy work of her opener,
She
5
did.
kilo jump. This is a previous personal best. I'm anticipating it is no longer her best, judging by her training videos she's been posting. Junior world record attempt by the junior world champion. Now in the open. Oh, wow.
I think that's a good one. New world record, junior squat world record for Jade Jacob.
Living up to the hype, Jade Jacob of France. And if Joy is having a tough day, some of the other contenders are really starting to emerge.
And here's one of them, Bobby Butters.
Does Bobby smell blood?
Sabrina Downs there and Henry Tosh sending her out. Oh, it's difficult when you've got two lifters on the same team fighting right at the front. But this is Bobby's lift.
You got to wonder if the other contenders are sensing the queen is vulnerable today. Today might be that day. Oh, and Bobby's on fire,
She
though.
is. The training's been great. She's looking strong. I would be amazed if we don't see a world record from her on a third.
Well, those chips could come in handy strategically.
Look at that. That was beautiful.
Well, if you like squats, you're going to love this.
Maria T coming out for 180 kilos, just a shade under the world record. So that's interesting. She hasn't gone for 181 yet.
One more lift to go. She's pacing herself, believe me. They are well aware Jeff Butt will not leave a chip behind if they think it's available.
Absolutely. And she's got Garrett in her corner as well there.
Phenomenal handlers.
But I think this is going to be a competition where you're going to want that chip. A little bit shaky at the bottom. Now that's a surprise.
Now I want to take a look at this replay here. She looks solid on the descent. She even cut it a little high maybe, which is usually an indication you didn't like how it feels.
Yeah, that's we're having a shocker in the 57s.
Look at it. This one we said coming in is hard to call.
Yeah.
Some people may falter a little, other people might step it up, and then who would have predicted Joy Namani would have her back to the wall like this?
So going into the third round, we have Butters leading from Jacob, leading from T. And Namani not even on the board.
Evie Corrigan not too far behind because she's got a big deadlift and she could cover some ground.
Sure.
It's a bigger picture.
Anastasia Hein now from Germany. Her 145 was tough. This is 150.
The intensity is revved up, though, and you're starting to see that. You're going to notice with these third attempts, some of these ladies who appeared to struggle a little bit on the seconds, how you rev that intensity up, you'd be
Look how
surprised.
far down her back the bar is.
Yep. Super duper low bar.
That should give her a lot of grind.
She is a fighter,
And
though.
there it
Wow.
is. I'd be really interested to know what she's getting that yellow card for, but it doesn't affect the results. It's 2-1, a good lift.
Is loaded. 152.5 kilos of Berglund of Sweden.
And here comes Donna Berglund from Sweden, 152.5.
So 2.5 kilo jump.
She has quite a narrow quad dominant style.
Almost like an Olympic lifter.
Yeah, very much so.
In and out of the hole so quickly, you blink and you miss it. Tough job by the judges.
She's happy with that.
Next weight on the bar, 155.
I think that'll look better than a second, actually.
You know the score, people. She needs this one to stay.
Oh, and here's a moment we did not think we would be seeing. Joy Namani in trouble on squats.
Do or die for the reigning 57 kilo queen. Still calm, cool, collected. Still smiling. Look at her. She's a Terminator.
She's looking for the support.
How is she so calm under pressure? Well, that's why she's a multiple-time world champion in different weight classes.
Absolutely. I think she's still got world records in 2 weight classes. And I'm certain she's going to absolutely nail this.
If anyone can do it, it's Joy Namani. I'm not sure though.
I don't know. It looks very similar to her last one.
Yeah. They have to protest it because they got one white, but
They're going to have to protest, but
you might as well. But it's not.
it looked the same.
Let's take a look at these the review here. Well, it was better.
Do you know, I think every one of these lifters was here today to beat Joy Namani, but I don't think anyone wanted to do it this way.
It got overturned.
It's been overturned. It's
Must
been
have.
overturned. Joy Namani is on the board.
Oh my
She's
gosh.
still in the competition.
Oh my gosh! We promised drama, but not
Wow.
like this. This is too exciting.
Wow. Okay, still trying to process the Joy Namani squat there, and we have Mylene van der Speck from the Netherlands for 157.5. You're right, it did look better.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to steady my heart. Give me a second here.
Nice.
Nice squat, steady.
2-1, good lift for Van der Speck. 167.5.
So, one red card. Red card on the squat is always for depth. And yeah, it did look a little bit borderline on this side. Nevertheless, good lift. And we have Evie Corrigan now, New Zealand, for 167.5. This won't get her a squat medal, but it's about building a total at this point.
The returning junior world champion, fresh out of lockout and isolation, hits the platform, needs these kilos if she's going to make a play to make it onto the podium. She is a podium favorite, but this is such a heavily contested division in the 57 kilo class.
It just looked a little too heavy on her second.
Nicely done. And here's the thing. If you treat that second weight like a third, all of a sudden it moves like a second should have. It's going to up the intensity.
I think you're right. Sometimes you're doing your second squat, and what's on your mind is the third. You're not really taking the second one seriously.
You definitely, a lot of people try to manage how much intensity you bring because it's a long day and you get your back to the wall and it's like, I gotta treat this second weight attempt like it is a third.
So here comes Ja Jacob for another junior world record. She's looking to extend her own junior squat world record by another 2.5 kilos. This is 175.
Again, she's right in the hunt, no longer just to podium, but with Joy having been set back with just her opening squat, the title is on the line now.
She's ahead of Maria T at this point. That was very nice indeed.
Yeah, she looks all types of strong. This is definitely her day. The hype on her is starting to turn out real. 3 for 3 in the squat event.
And she's seen her teammates in every session so far take the win. That's got to give you some heart.
Wouldn't that be something?
So Maria T, it was really surprising to see her miss this on her second.
She's hit 185.5.
Was that at Canadian Nationals this year?
I'm not entirely sure, to tell you the truth. No, it wouldn't be. Sorry, she didn't come out for her thirds on Canadian Nationals this year. That was a
Okay.
tune-up. Big breath.
Here we go. I think it might be shy of
It
depth.
might be shy of depth. Yeah.
Yeah, not quite there.
I wonder if they're going to go to the... Yeah, they'll go to the jury to try to get that, because Canada needs these kilos.
But if we watch that back, yeah, I think that was shallow.
Well, I tell you what, one squat got overturned, and it was iffy, so Team Canada's like, let's have the conversation.
And now here we go with Bobby Butters. She's looking to extend her own world record. It sits at 180.5. This is 183.
She's hit 185, like you had said previously, not at the world level, so she can collect a chip here and has an opportunity to hit a weight she knows she's hit before. Oh, wow.
She's bringing it for this. 'Cause this is her squat. This is her lift. She is a big squat. She's also a big bencher. Team subtotal.
I got chills when Bobby comes out like that.
And she's such a sweet lady.
Off the platform,
Off the platform, yeah, but so fierce on it. Come on, Bobby.
Oh, Bobby's on fire.
Absolutely beautiful. What a celebration.
Lets out a war cry. Bobby's on the warpath. This is heating up in the 57-kilo class.
So that was a new world record for Bobby Butters at 183, and she leads the field as we go into bench press.
So the conversation now is, with Joy Namani missing her first two lifts, is she far enough back that she is now vulnerable? Coming into this, there was a bit of a gap between her and the rest of the field, and we all probably thought the rest of the field is fighting for silver, bronze, and positional like that. Now that Joy is vulnerable, is the gold medal now up to grabs?
Well, I think it might be. And look, if we look at the standings on the screen right now, we have Jade Jacob ahead of Maria T. I mean, this is only squat. We've got a long way to go. But we could see a real upset here today.
You don't want to go anywhere.
We'll be back in 10 minutes for bench press. Welcome back to the IPF World Classic Powerlifting Championships here in Sun City, South Africa. Presented by Eleiko and SBD, we are in the 50th anniversary year of the IPF. This is the 57 kilo class, and boy have we had a squat session so far, Ryan.
Coming into this, we all knew about Joy Namani. She had a bit of a lead over the other contenders, and we had thought the other contenders, who were all world class, have also won world titles in the past, will be battling it out for silver and bronze. Joy Namani, having missed her first and second and originally her third until overturned squat, has now left her in a bit of a vulnerable state. Now the other contenders have risen to the challenge. Bobby Buthers smells blood and hit a world record squat in her third attempt. She has to chip and play.
But Jade Jacob also got a junior world record, so she is right there up in contention. Maria T, though, struggled a little bit. She only got her opener, so she's slipped back down. But if we look at the prognosis, the top 5 are covered by 10 kilos.
It's still way too close to call. It's closer even than it was coming in, and it was close enough then. It actually makes it more entertaining now that Joy is vulnerable, because all of the medals are now on the table and all of them are up for grabs, as opposed to just the silver and bronze. You can't ask for more.
Sure, and I can see that Joy has got an opener set of 207.5 in the deadlift. That seems quite high. Maybe that's just a placeholder. I think we're going to see a tight competition as we go through this now.
You know, it begs the question. So was it just technical? Is there what's going on in Joy's camp? We're going to find out a little bit of an indication in the bench press event moments away. And then, of course, the deadlift. She can cover a big gap, but how much of a gap if she starts to fall behind?
Sure. She looked fairly relaxed in the back when I just spoke to her, though.
She's a Terminator. She doesn't get shaken.
So we have flight 1 of the 57s coming out now. Juliette Moulif. She also gave us a bit of a heart attack on squat, but she got her third squat in, and she's opening her bench with 40 kilos.
Let's hope the bench press event for her is smoother, less exciting. There we go.
That looked nice and easy.
No news is good news when it comes to openers.
Good move for Milite, 50 on the bar. Number Yumi Honda, Japan.
Next out, Mayumi Honda, Japan. 50 kilos.
She's previously hit 62.5. This should be well within the means for an opener.
Yumi Honda, Japan.
Very nice.
Nicely done. She's on the board.
You know, we saw a huge Japanese team at World Bench last week in Kazakhstan, and so many of them employ this real precision technique with bench press. Yui Okawa, Japan, next for 67.5.
Bar is loaded, 67.5 kilos, Okawa, Japan.
Just 5 kilo below her personal best. And bench is one of those events, you know, just 5 kilo can be a lot. It's not a big spread. I understand the smallest increment you could take in terms of a jump is 2.5 kilo. But when you're in the 57 kilo women's class, that's still pretty big. It can make a big difference in how the bar speed moves, or from a successful lift to a failure.
Sure, 5% of body weight at this level.
Mm-hmm.
Easy opener.
Good lift, we got nice for Okawa, 67.5 on the bar. Del Laurel, Priscilla Del Laurel, US Virgin Islands. bar is loaded. 67.5 kilos, Del Moral, US Virgin Islands.
We have Priscilla Del Moral, USVI now for 67.5.
Just 2.5 kilo below her personal best. And I could tell you right now, in the brief intermission we had, I jogged around back into the warm-up room, and the place is abuzz.
Wow, that's a great arch.
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
Good execution.
Jose, 3 white lights for Del Moral, 72.5 on the bar now. Matilda Østergaard, Denmark.
So the high arch, it not only reduces the range of motion, it tips the chest up, making it more of a decline motion. That makes it a little bit easier, but also keeps the shoulders safe. And we have Matilda Østergaard from Denmark for 72.5. Little bit of effort to get it off the chest, but as soon as it came off the chest, it flew to lockout.
75 on the bar now. Antoinette Creel, South Africa.
So here comes Antoinette Creel after breaking the M2 squat world record.
South Africa.
What can she do on bench?
She's done 87.5 previously. This is well below that, so I'm expecting this to move pretty quickly.
Just had a quick look at the M2 world record. I think that's a little bit out of range at 102. But of course she's going to want to get her lifts in order to cement that squat world record. If you don't make a total, you don't get the record.
Earlier today, we saw a gentleman break the European squat record and unfortunately bombed out on bench.
So he had to give it back.
That's right.
That's a real shame. But that was a good lift for Antoinette.
Bars loaded, 80 kilos, Sasha Payne.
Sasha Payne next, also from South Africa for 80. Didn't have the greatest time on squat, only got her opener in.
And this is just 2.5 kilo below her personal best. So if they were going to adjust, doesn't look like they did.
Wow, that was tough.
And here's the thing, you have to adjust to your day. Whatever you thought you had planned going in, you throw it out the window once you realize it's not there.
And that was no lift, that was blue cards.
Yeah, there's a down-up rate.
Yeah, and her butt was off as well.
And her butt came up, it's not about what you came in with the game plan or what you hit in training. It's what's there on the day. You have to adjust. And clearly the squat event was an indication it wasn't there like they thought it was. And if you don't adjust and think, well, things will just work out for bench, this is what can happen.
So here comes Louise Murray. I remember her as a big bencher.
Kilos, Louise Murray, Portugal.
And she's opening today with 90.
Ooh, another tough opener.
Well, that's a shocker. She's got it on the board, but I wonder how much more she's got left.
40 kilos on the bar.
We're starting to see some of these openers being a little more strenuous than anticipated.
Nice to see.
So we are through to the second round now, and we have Juliette Molly for Zimbabwe for 42.5. Taking a conservative jump, 2.5 kilos.
Bar is loaded, 42.5 kilos. Juliet Malife, Zimbabwe.
That moves smoothly. We got an easy one in.
Yeah, certainly did. And she's left herself a little bit of room for her third. Very flared style. Mayumi Honda, Japan. Open with 50, gone up a whole 10 kilos. 60 kilos on the bar.
Still 2.5 kilo below her previous personal best. Driving those traps into the bench, using the barbell to wedge herself in place. She'll get the lift off, then she'll lower her butt to the bench, and only when she's completely in place will she get the start command.
Decent second attempt.
Yeah.
Blue white lights, good leg for Honda. Next one last, 72.5 kilos. Yui Okawa, Japan.
And we have her teammate coming out next, Yui Okawa, Japan.
Bar is loaded, 72.5 kilos. Okawa,
Gone up
Japan.
5, this is 72.5.
It's going to equal her personal best.
Blue white lights, good leg for Okawa.
And that is a good lift for Okawa.
Nicely done, considering that was her previous personal best. Makes relatively easy work of it.
Bar is loaded, 72.5 kilos. Del Moral, US.
Priscilla Del Moral, USVI, next for 72.5. And that's a new personal best for Priscilla Del Moral.
Training has been going well for Priscilla.
Denmark.
Nice bit of leg drive, but keeps her butt down. Feet must stay flat on the floor, and the butt and head must stay in contact with the bench.
Bar is loaded, 77.5
Matilda
kilos.
Østergaard from Denmark for 77.5 for her second.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
You know, there's a bit of a bounce when she brought it to her chest. I don't know if she lost a little tension, lost position.
77.5 on the bar.
Might be able to see this on the replay here.
South Africa.
Woof, there, it moved. And then it
Yeah,
moved
just-
again. So I don't know if it moved out of position on her when she tried to press. It just
Sure. Well,
wasn't
she
what
gets another
used to.
attempt. Hopefully it goes better. And we have Antoinette Creel from RSA. 77.5 on the bar. Big lift for an M2, 57.
Yeah, she's right in the mix of it, despite being in her 50s.
Strong.
Good lift, right for Creel. 80 on the bar now for Sasha Payne, South Africa. Second attempt at this weight. Bar is loaded.
Sasha Payne now, South Africa, coming out for 80 kilos.
Come on, Sasha. Easy weight.
She had missed this on her opener.
All kinds of things went on, didn't it? It was very heavy, the bar dipped, her butt was off.
Can she make the adjustment? We've seen other lifters do it. Go in the back, get your head right, put your favorite song on, remember all your bench cues. Sometimes all you need is a little extra motivation. Well, you got it now. Oh, no. Oh, yes.
Well, the bar's up and down again.
Was it up and down or just paused?
I'm not certain. I'm
It
really
was
not
just
sure.
paused. I honestly, I saw it just paused as well. I'm going to
Sure.
agree with the judges. I seen it pause twice. Let's see on the replay.
Portugal, last lift in round 2 for the Deadlift Flight.
Pause. Okay, well, she got one by. Let's keep our voices down.
Sure. And we have Louise Merry coming out next for 92.5.
Bars loaded, 92.5
Her
kilos.
opener was
Louise Merry,
really tough.
Portugal.
Yeah, it was. The 2.5 kilo jump, obviously the only reasonable attempt to put in for her second. It's the smallest possible jump she can make. And even this is going to be a battle. After this one, if she can complete it, I'm anticipating it's going to be a major struggle. She might even just walk away from the third. No sense leaving.
See how this one goes. It does not go.
Yeah.
As you say, maybe it's not worth coming out for the third. There.
For 2.5 kilo, how much do you want to empty the tank? You still got a lot of deadlifting to do.
Sure.
47.5 kilos. Juliet Molife, Zimbabwe.
So, third round of bench now for the first flight. And Juliette Molif from Zimbabwe. It's coming out for 47.5. She's had a better time. Oh, that's interesting, actually. She took 2.5 increase to her second, and now she's gone up 5.
Yeah, it's still 2.5 kilo below her personal best, so in the 42.5 moved well.
It's not the usual state of affairs.
Perhaps they didn't get the attempt card in on time and they just bumped them up to 2.5.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or maybe she didn't convince her coach.
Yeah, and the second did. Uh-oh, butt
No,
came up.
too
Not going to
much.
happen.
Well done, loaders. No lift.
So that leaves her with the best of 42.5.
Mayumi Honda, Japan.
And we have Mayumi Honda from Japan now for 62.5.
She's hit this before. Can she hit it again on the world stage?
Bars loaded, 62.5 kilos. Honda, Japan.
She does make the absolute most of her time on the platform.
She's allocated a minute. She's going to use it. Gets the lift off. Ooh, this is comes straight to a stop and returns. No.
Fights it to a standstill.
A valiant effort.
So we have Yui Okawa, Japan, for 75. Current rankings don't really mean much right now. We still have to wait for the second flight to come out.
Oh, in the action that awaits us in that second flight.
I'm not sure my nerves can take it.
Oh, just a little
Not
too
quite there.
much.
Local loaders, that was no lift for Okawa. 77.5 kilos off the bar now. Matilda Oostergaard, Denmark. 2 attempts remain to change over.
Valiant effort, but just not quite there today. And we have Matilda Østergaard from Denmark for 77.5. Second attempt at this weight.
Nice scrap.
Well, they wavered about a bit. Did it dip? No, it didn't.
77.5 on the bar. Priscilla Del Moral, US Virgin Islands. Last chance to
It
change
was a
over
good
this
battle.
bar
It
is
stalled out a
no
couple of
lift.
times.
77.5 kilos. Del Moral, US Virgin Islands.
Priscilla Del Moral, USVI. Looking for 77.5.
I'm paying attention to the openers for the other flight. If we have movement come, I see some head coaches of national teams coming up to the
Oh.
table. Yeah, Maria T just bumped up her opener on
Wow.
bench to gain some ground.
That looked nice for Priscilla. And that's a good lift at 77.5. So that's interesting. So Maria did not have the best time on squat, but she's gone up on bench.
No more changes. No more changes.
It looks like maybe they want to get behind Jad.
Bar is
Yeah, but
And
if she's not having the best day,
and she'll be keeping pace on bench with Joy. We'll see. They obviously had a discussion on it. And
wants to keep in touch.
right.
But here's Antoinette Creel from South Africa for 80 kilos. She's having a good day so far.
And Maria has body weight advantage on the other two lifters I just mentioned as well. So maybe it is strategic. We'll see.
That's a good point. I hadn't looked at body weight yet.
Oh. It's a valiant effort, but there might have been some down up. No.
What a fight.
Yeah. She left it on the platform, that's for sure.
I think 5 fewer grams might have gone. That was really close.
2.5 on the bar now. Sasha Payne, South Africa.
Sasha Payne next, also from South Africa for 82.5.
82.5 kilos. Sasha Payne, South Africa.
Not having the best day on bench.
Ooh.
Not today.
And
So the best of 80.
yeah, and when she opened so heavy for the day anyways, left her no room to really maneuver, although she did get in on her second attempt. It was untidy.
But she's on the board. She can make a total still.
Hopefully for the deadlifts, they adjust her opener.
So here comes Louise Murray lifting for Portugal, looking for 92.5 for the second time of asking.
And this looked like it was a strength issue, but we'll see.
It did. So again, opened very high. Her opener was tough.
Last bench of this flight.
No one's responded to Maria going up yet.
No response is a
Oh, in
powerful
fact,
response.
they can't now, can they?
Are they past? Oh yeah, they would be past the.
Oh wow, that was tons better.
Okay, well, what happened there?
Yeah, a red card on bench is usually for not reaching the chest or touching the belt, so not sure about that. And we're not getting a replay. So we have Flight 2 coming through straight away with Martina Moltzova, Czechia, looking for 70 kilos for her opening lift. Nice solid opener there.
Good lift, 3 white lights. Next one on the is 80 kilos. Milena van der Speck, Netherlands.
Mylene van der Speck now for 80 kilos.
Opening up 5 kilo below her personal best, giving herself a little bit of room to maneuver.
Bars loaded, 80 kilos, van der Speck, Netherlands.
Opener will be an indication of just where she's at today on the bench.
Not super easy, but certainly well within range.
Good lift, 3 white lights, and van der Speck, 87.5 on the bar now. Anastasia Hein, Germany.
And we have Anastasia Hein of Germany for 87.5.
Looks like she may be calling for the blocks.
Yep, lifter can request blocks 10, 20, 30 centimetres to build up the surface of the platform. Just a little bit of confusion about which blocks she's asked for.
You could definitely make a difference for the setup, for the leg drive.
Looking just as happy as ever on bench as she did on squats.
Clock is winding down, but she should be okay. 25 seconds, about to get the lift off. Ooh, wow, what the?
Her feet were sliding away.
Did the blocks move or just her feet?
I'm not sure if the blocks moved or her feet slipped on the blocks, but I think that's what put her off. If we watch that now.
The block moved. Oh, no. See, that's the thing. When you use the blocks, they're not fastened to the ground.
That's a tough one. So that was no lift for Anastasia Hein. I wonder what she'll do for that coming out again.
Yeah, I've seen spotters put their feet against the blocks to stop them from moving.
So here we have Jade Jacob, real contender now for the, well, not just for the podium. It's really hard to see how this is going to go. She picked up 2 junior world records on squat, opening her bench with 90 kilos.
Yeah, coming into the event, everybody's thinking, well, is she battling for bronze? Is she battling for silver? Now we're all saying, well, is she battling for gold? I can't think of the last time a reigning junior champion won the Open championship.
And that's a good lift. Didn't we have one in the 47s yesterday?
She was the reigning Open champion, so the reigning junior champion, she would
Oh,
still
I
be
get you.
reigning. Yeah, it wouldn't be. It'd be within the same year.
I can just see the jury talking to the platform crew. I'm not quite sure what the issue was, but nevertheless, we have Maria T from Canada coming out for 92.5. Now, you spotted, Ryan, that she put her opening attempt up.
Got that eagle eye while I recognize the Canadian coaching staff approaching the table. I'm like, okay, well, familiar with these gentlemen, and let's see how she handles 92.5. Obviously, the warm-ups must have been going well. Opportunity to get behind Jade, and she does. Jade.
Yeah, that was very comfortable. Build a bit of confidence now after a bit of a struggle on squat. And here comes Joy. Talking about a struggle on squat, Joy only got her 3rd lift in when it was overturned by the jury, and bench isn't her best lift either. But it's gone up quite a bit in recent years, and this is 92.5 for her opener.
Well, only 3 other lifters are opening higher, so it's. You're right. It's probably not going to podium, but it'll grab her some kilos.
That was nice. Because she's got those long deadlifter's arms, makes bench all the harder.
A lot easier this opener than the last one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great opening bench from Joy. So, Evie Corrigan next, 95 kilos for her opener.
Evie missed her 2nd squat, rallied back to hit it in her 3rd, went back there, asked her, what happened? She said, I had to take it a little more seriously. I asked myself, what are you doing? Be present. Let's go. Sometimes it just takes a little internal pep talk.
And to focus on the lift that you're doing right now.
She missed one of her squats, but she's still in a great opportunity to get a medal here today.
That was very easy. Loads more to come there from Evie.
100 kilos on the bar now. Bobby Butters, Great Britain.
Next we have Bobby Butters. She pushed her own squat world record up to 183 kilos, opening with 100.
And this is about as calm as you're going to see Bobby on the platform.
Yeah, it's a technical lift. You don't get too fired up for your opening bench.
Yeah, particularly not the opener.
But Bobby's a great bencher. Doesn't have the biggest deadlift, so she needs to accumulate all the kilos she can at this stage.
A 100 kilo on the board.
3 right lights and a good lift for Bobby Butters. 110 on the bar now. Donna Berglund of Sweden.
That's a nice solid bench from Bobby.
Berglund, Sweden, 110 kilos.
And here comes Donna Berglund for 110 to open her bench.
Yeah, her and her brother routinely collect the gold medal in the bench events.
And I think this will be no different, providing this goes well. She holds the world record.
Yeah, she can go as high as 121.5 in the right circumstances.
Super easy there for Donna.
And she leads the way in bench. Round 2 begins with Martina Matsova, 75 kilos on the bar. Matsova, Czechia.
So, second round of bench coming up, and here are the standings with Berglund in gold medal position, Butters in silver, and Corrigan in bronze.
Bar is loaded, 75 kilos, Matsova, Czechia.
Martina Motsova, 75 kilos for her second. Oh, that's a tough one. No, I didn't expect that after her opener.
Yeah, the brakes get put on rather quickly in the bench press. Just a couple kilo can make all the difference.
Do you think she just lost her path a little bit at the bottom there? Because her opener was great.
It could be. Yeah, a small misgroove makes it difficult.
Marleen van der Spek now for Netherlands. Looking for 82.5 for a second. Interesting. Blue card on bench can be for downward movement of the bar or soft lockout, and I've just seen the centre referee indicate elbows. We don't get a great view of that on the replay.
Yeah, that's difficult to see there.
It was a good lift nevertheless, and here's Anastasia Hein from Germany for 87.5.
Is she asking for blocks this time?
No, she is not.
With no blocks, will it matter if she's used to them?
Might take a bit off the top end, but hopefully she can adjust.
She's definitely more fired up than last time, that's for sure.
So let's hope she can get her feet flat.
Nicely done.
She's on the board.
Breathes a sigh of relief. There it is. And that's why you choose an opening weight. You can hit in all different types of fashions. If you're used to blocks, you don't have them. If you're used to a minute setup and you only have 20 seconds.
Benjamin Yu from Canada in the 59 struggled. Couldn't keep his butt on the bench at all. Turns out he was used to a very soft pad, so he had to abandon his setup completely to get his third in. But we've got Maria T now for 95. Now she went up from 90 to 92 for her opener, but she's only gone up 2.5 here.
She will be tying Team France and Britain, but beating them on body weight. Let's see if she can keep pace.
And it's tough.
Yeah.
She's not having her best day today.
No, she's hit 105 before, and that looks like that might be the limit.
I did look like it was right on the limit. I think she'll be lucky to get another 2.5 out of that.
95 kilos.
Unless she comes out, you know, super fired up, gets super tight.
She was a lot calmer. You know, she could obviously up the intensity.
Speaking of calm, here's Joy Namani, the very picture of calm. Her 92.5 was great, actually. And she's gone up to 95 for a second. That bench is well improved.
No major struggle for her 95 kilos.
95 on the bar. The Yad Jacob, France.
Yad Jakob.
Bar is loaded. Jacob, France.
Trying to
Jad
say the name.
Jacob?
Jad,
Jad
Jad,
Jacob,
Jad, Jad. There it
Jad
is.
Jacob, France. Here she comes. She is looking for 95 for her second. She's put herself in a great position in this competition now. On prognosis, actually, she's sitting in first right now. Ahead of Joy Namani on bodyweight.
And
Oh, exactly the same bodyweight as Joy Namani.
And she's got a big deadlift on her as well. Not Joy Namani big, but a serviceable deadlift.
Sure. But that's going to be interesting, exactly the same bodyweight. Now, there was some movement through the body, so I'll be interested in the side view.
It looked from this angle, yeah, I was going to say.
Must have kept it down, so that's a good lift for Jad Jacob.
Corrigan, New Zealand.
Yeah, there's movement, but I think it stayed.
Bars loaded, 100 kilos.
Evie Corrigan next. She's all the way up to 100 kilos. Good lift for Evie.
Corrigan, 107.5 on the bar now. Bobby Butters, Great Britain.
Absolutely bounces off the platform.
She's collecting kilos. She's going to need them. She's battling for a podium. Looking at the projected, Maria T is still in the picture.
Bar is loaded.
Here's Bobby, 107.5.
Bobby Butters.
She's got herself fired up for a second bench.
7.5 kilos here if she could get this second attempt.
She got 110.5 at the British Women's in March. So that's the current British record. And we might see 112 go today. Like you say, though, the breaks come on quickly on bench press. It's often hard to predict. But that was a great bench from Bobby.
And that's the thing. Do you go for the record because the record's there? And a chip available is always nice. However, do you do something you're a little more sure of to collect those kilos, looking at the bigger picture for placement? It's so tight right now.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I wouldn't like to make that call. But here's Donna Berglund. She's the current world record holder in bench press. She lost her single lift bench record last week, but she still holds the 3 lift record. The IPF keeps separate records for a bench press done in a powerlifting competition to a bench press done in a single lift competition. $115 on the bar.
Good lift, 3 white lights for Donna Berglund at 150
Great lift for Donna Berglund.
Round 3. First round of the bar, 77.5 kilos, Martina Maltsova.
Fantastic art she's got there. So here are the standings in bench, with Berglund leading the way from Butters from Corrigan. I wonder if we'll get a look at the subtotal standings.
Bars loaded, 77.5 kilos for Maltsova, Czechia.
And here we go. So here's where we are at subtotal. We know Bobby Butters is team subtotal, and she's leading from Jade Jacob, with Evie Corrigan tied on bodyweight with Donna Berglund, and the big deadlifters T and Namani, 4th and 5th.
Yeah, they're going to cover a lot of ground in the
Yeah.
next event, but they have some precious kilos they need in these third bench press attempts.
So that was
No lift. We'll take a look at the replay here.
the Czech lifter Martina Maltsova.
Yeah, the butt came up. It wasn't going to work.
Just a bit too heavy. So that leaves her with the best of 75, and we have Mylene van der Speck from the Netherlands coming out next for 85. And a little bit too much there for Mylene, leaving her with the best of 82.5. Now, Ryan, I've just seen Donna Berglund's put in 123. Now, her 3-lift bench record is 121.5, so she could put 122 on it. But Anna Rikon of Ukraine did 122 in Almaty last week, so she's looking for the single lift record as well. In the meantime, we've got Anastasia Hein, Germany, with 92.5 on the bar.
Lets out a war cry, but then turns around and calmly talks to the spotter.
I wasn't sure who she was addressing there, to be honest. Now, let's see if, because this is a PB attempt, so let's see if the lack of blocks is going to hamper her in this lift.
Oh, nope.
And I think it has. But she certainly has, her legs are certainly long enough to get some decent drive, so maybe, given the difficulty she had with those blocks, maybe that's something to work on, actually lifting without them.
Yeah, certainly what happened here today is going to make that a conversation when she gets home.
So we have your girl Maria T coming out next for 97.5.
We know under ideal circumstances, she can hit 105. She's done it before. This hasn't been an ideal day so far. 95 kilo appeared to be the limit. Can she push it another 2.5?
She needs every kilo. She's in the fight, but there's about 5 lifters jockeying for position here. I'm looking at the prognosis, and yeah, there's absolutely nothing in it right through the field.
Oh! No.
Oh, that's a shame. I really thought she had that. She hit it hard, but it hit a wall.
97.5 remains on the bar for Joy Damani, Great Britain. Bar is loaded.
Right there. The speed off the chest was there. Came to a halt, about 1.5 inches off the chest, though.
Same weight now for Joy Namani. She looked good for 95. I would think this would go. Only 3rd on prognosis right now.
And I tell you what, she would be the first lifter to get her 3rd attempt in this flight.
And I think she has.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Shaky squat attempt, but 3 for 3 in bench.
Yeah, absolutely. Struts off the platform. Pleased with the job well done. And I think that's right. I think that was every kilo she could get from bench today.
Yeah, it's a good call. No question.
Jade Jacob, France, for the same weight again, 97.5.
Jade is turning into a serious threat here, and she does have a serviceable deadlift.
She does.
She can cover some ground.
On projections, she is currently in the lead.
Yeah, it's a small lead,
It
but
is
it's a lead.
small one. No, not quite. I think she looked a bit nervous under the bar. I think she understood that that wasn't going to go. Leaves her with the best of 95.
Already in bronze medal position on bench press.
So we have Evie Corrigan coming out now for 102.5. She's guaranteed the bench bronze.
Bar is loaded. 102.5 kilos. Corrigan, New Zealand.
Evie comes out calm, cool, and collected like she's
I was
walking
gonna
into a
say,
library.
Like she was just going for a walk in the park.
A 1.5 kilo personal best.
And she's picking up the bronze medal.
Ooh.
That was a great effort.
Good lead. 3 white lights for Corrigan.
3 white lights.
102.5 and the bronze medal in bench.
Bobby Butters, Great Britain, already in bench press.
Now they've taken the conservative jump for Bobby Butters. 110 is going on the bar. And I think that's right. A British record means nothing against the World Championship title.
Yeah, for sure. We had that conversation before she put the attempt in, and
Bar is loaded.
there's overall medals to be had.
Great Britain.
A lot more fired up than for the third than she was for her opener.
She talks to herself all the way through the lift. So she knows she's not going to win any medals on deadlift, so she has to get every single kilo she can right here.
Oh, it looks like she just did pick up a couple more kilos.
I think so. I think that was a perfectly judged third attempt for Bobby Butters. She is leaving not 1 kilo behind today.
She is absolutely fired up as she enters the warm-up room.
So, last bench press of the 57s, and it's Donna Berglund, as it always is. She wants 123 for not only the 3-lift bench record, but she wants the single lift bench record back as well.
Donna Berglund wants it all. Restoring family honor here in the bench press event.
Gives her a useful chip as well. Could have taken 122.5 and taken the record, but you know, that chip might prove very useful at the end.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind, not only for the podium, but just in the overall rankings, it collects team points for Team Sweden, and she's contributed in doing her part. And that chip could come into play.
The bar is loaded. 123 kilos. Donna Berglund, Sweden, world record attempt.
Right.
Getting the rack height set before they call her out.
Oh, it's hard for an athlete when you fire it up to rein it in, but she looks happy enough.
Well, the bench press is her home. Welcome home, Donna. That is an aggressive arch.
Easy work there for Donna Berglund of Sweden. 2-1, a good lift. That's the world record, the single lift world record, and the gold medal on bench.
We will reset the platform for the deadlifts. 7 minutes to change A group openers. Don't go anywhere.
So on your screen right now is the results in the bench press, which is Berglund with 123, Butters with 110, and Corrigan at 102. She's going to be happy to have picked up a bronze medal on bench there.
Has to be the return to the World Championships for Evie.
And look at this, Bobby Butters is leading the way at subtotal with Donna Berglund in second, with Jade Jacob, Evie Corrigan, and Maria T and Joy Namani all the way down in 5th and 6th.
Things will shake up though once the bar hits the ground and the deadlift session begins. You don't want to miss this. Make sure you're back. We're at about 9 minutes out.
Welcome back to a phenomenal session for the 57 kilo class at the IPF Classic Powerlifting Championships here in Sun City, South Africa. Ryan, this is closer than I could possibly imagine.
Yeah, I said it before, but it bears repeating. This is still anybody's competition, especially after the shaky squat session by Joy Namani. Some of the other contenders covered some ground in the bench press event. Bobby Butters with a sensational bench press. I know she's team subtotal, but her deadlift, she's been working on it. Can she pull herself onto the podium?
So Donna Berglund took the world record in the bench with 123, which was just phenomenal. So this gives us our subtotal standings on the screen at the moment, with Butters leading the way. As we know, Butters and Berglund don't have the biggest deadlifts, but Ja Jacob does. And Corrigan's a big deadlifter, and so is T, and so is Namani. And if we look at prognosis now, we have Butters, Jacob, and Namani all at 460 or 460.5 on prognosis.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. It's a very tight race to get onto the podium. Who's going to hit? Who's going to miss? Attempt selection is going to really come into play here.
Well, I just bumped into Bobby Butters when I went for a quick bathroom break, and she's torn the skin on her thumb. And she's a hook gripper.
Oh, wow. A little bit of inside pool.
So how is this going to go? Is it going to affect her? Can she just get a little bit of tape on that thumb?
If anybody's going to battle through that with the intensity Bobby Butters brings,
sure,
you got to think, but...
So we're about to get underway now in the deadlifts. The bar has hit the floor, so the party is about to start. We have the first flight coming out now with Mayumi Honda from Japan leading the way with 115.
Round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. We are deadlifting.
Best is 140, so this should look very comfortable.
And it does, wow.
Definitely. But if you remember, she opened very, very light on squat and then took a big jump, so we might see the same again on deadlift.
Seems to be the game plan.
Juliette Molif, Zimbabwe, 19 years old, opening with 120. A little bit scrappy, but the strength is definitely there.
We went light to the good minute for Molife. 125 on the bar now. Priscilla Del Moral, US Virgin Islands.
Next out, we have Priscilla Del Moral, USVI, for 125.
Bar is loaded, 125 kilos, Del Moral, US Virgin Islands.
So here's Priscilla, 125 on the bar.
She's hit 132.5 previously. Makes easy work of it. I don't think we're 7.5 kilo away from her limit today.
No, that looks really comfortable.
130 on the bar now, Sasha Payne, South Africa. Bar is loaded.
Sasha Payne, South Africa, for 130. Now, she's not had the best day. She's 2 for 6 right now. Hopefully, deadlifts go better.
If you got to go 2 for 6, you want the two split between the two events.
Absolutely.
Now, why don't you adjust the deadlift if you're having a day like this?
So unfortunately the bar stalled and dipped a little bit. The blue card is for downward movement of the bar or supporting, and there it was. So she does get another attempt at that. And here comes Louise Murray representing Portugal for 130.
Slow and steady.
Good lift for Louise. And next out we have Yui Okawa, Japan, for 132.5. Queen of the precision setup.
Does a quick air squat to open up the hips.
A little bit of a pause at the top just as she brought the hips through. So we have Antoinette Creel from South Africa coming out next for 145.
Oh, wow. Payne increased her deadlift to like 7.5 kilo from the opener she missed.
Oh my word.
I don't know about this attempt selection.
Well, that was a good lift for Creel.
Yeah.
So she's on the board. She's made a total, but I agree. Payne has struggled all day. Why would you not let her take 130 again?
You know, taking 130 apparently was dicey.
Matilda Østergaard, Denmark, for 150.
Makes easy work of it.
Good lift, 3 white lights for Østergaard. 120 on the bar as we move into 125 on the bar as we move into round 2. Juliet Malife, Zimbabwe.
Juliet Molive, Zimbabwe. Looking for 125.
Made easy work of 120. Matching her previous personal best with her opener. Looking to up that 5 kilos right now. Well done.
Again, just a little bit scrappy. But you get no points for style in powerlifting.
I think she's a little bit of a scrappy lifter.
Yeah, that one blue card was for supporting, I think. Just seemed to rest on the left thigh for a fraction of a second. Mayumi Honda from Japan for 130 now. 15 kilo increase. She made the big jump work on the squat.
Slows at the top. Locks it out. See what the judges say. 3 white lights.
130 remains on the bar for Priscilla Del Moral, US Virgin Islands. Bar is loaded. 130 kilos. Del Moral.
Quite typical of conventional deadlift. Flies up from the floor. Struggles a little at lockout. Priscilla Del Moral, USVI. Looking for 130 for her second attempt.
semi-sumo stance. That was quite slow all the way up there.
5 kilo definitely slowed her. I don't know how many more kilo you want to go. She's hit 32.5. You thinking 5 more is in the tank today?
I wouldn't like to say, to be honest. It was slow off the floor, but slow at lockout as well. And here we have Sasha Payne coming out for 7.5 kilos more than she failed for her opener.
Now, she's hit 150 before. Maybe they told themselves 130 is well below, even on a bad day. But when you miss 130, jumping up 7.5, if the 130 is, it's dicey.
She's 2 for 7. I think that is a bad day.
It's by any measure, 2 for 7's a bad day. Going up 7.5, I don't know. We'll see.
Let's hope her coach knows her well.
I really, 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 really hope she gets this. Oh, wow. Whoa.
That is no lift, just that little wobble at the bottom, at the top. And there it went. Oh, that is a real shame.
I mean, the weight moved so quickly, maybe too quick.
It did. You think it just caught her by surprise at the top?
I think there's hope, but do not go up in weight again until she gets lifted. That's it. She's pinned at 137.5 now.
Here's Louise Murray for 140, gone up 10.
$10-kilo jump. Still 10 kilo below her personal best. Slows around the knees and speeds up towards lockout.
142.5 on the bar now. Yui Okawa, Japan.
Payne is going to keep it at 137.5.
Phew.
Our prayers are answered.
Yeah. Yui Okawa, Japan for 142.5. Struggle at lockout. I'm not sure how much more she would have. That was a good lift, though.
10 more kilos added towards her total with that.
So I'm just looking ahead because Antoinette Creel is now coming out for 155. And the M2 total record is 373. So what's this? Maybe just a little out of reach. Maybe. We'll see how this one moves.
Yeah. I mean, this was a 10-kilo jump, so an 11-kilo jump, maybe.
So the deadlift world record in the M2s is 165.5, and if she did put 167.5 on, she can't chip a master's record in an open competition. She would have to do 167.5, but that would give her the total record as well. So let's see how this moves, and if it moves well, I think she's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I think she does go for it.
Put it on the bar. If I was the coach, I would be saying, and if I was the lifter, I would be saying, put it on the bar. Give me the chance.
Absolutely.
That moved very well.
Sometimes the coaches say, convince me. Well, that was convincing.
That was convincing. Yeah, absolutely. So, Matilda Østegård from Denmark for 162.5. Tough one.
Good lift to the right legs. Next round of the bar is
12.5 kilo added to her total there.
third round.
Not sure how much more I would put on though.
130.
So we have Juliette Mully from Zimbabwe coming out for 130. So we are into the third round in Flight A.
Bar is loaded at 130 kilos.
And she's put it on the bar. The South Africa Masters lifter Kriel, she's put 167 on the bar to take the M2 deadlift world record and the total.
That a girl.
So here is Juliette Mully from Zimbabwe. And that didn't look much different to a second.
Yep. I agree. The weight didn't slow her down much, 5 kilos.
So that gives her a 262.5 kilo total. And next out we have Priscilla Del Moral for her third deadlift at 135.
Bar is loaded, 135 kilos. Del Moral, US, Virgin Islands.
Five kilo jump, 2.5 kilo personal best if she can get it. Ooh, just a
And
little too
it
much.
just won't break from the floor.
No, sorry, no lift for Del Moral. 137.
That gives her a 337.5 kilo total.
Bar is loaded, 137.5 kilos for Payne.
So here comes Sasha Payne. She needs this lift. She needs this lift to stay in the competition. She is 2 for 8. Having a tough day. But she just had a little bit of a wobble at the top on the second attempt.
It's there. The strength is there. She's got to calm herself. Control the top. She's done it. I think she's done it.
That looked brilliant.
Oh my gosh. This is the most pivotal 3 lifts of her career. And thank God they're in the 3 different disciplines. She's got a total.
She made her total at 347.5.
Oh, wow. Well, it was exciting.
I think that's the kind of excitement that you don't need in a competition.
Excitement nonetheless.
Mayumi Honda now, Japan for 140.
140 kilos, Honda, Japan.
Gone up 10, which seems
Big.
ambitious. Yeah.
Well, she jumped 15 from her opener, so it's a smaller gap, but she apparently likes big jumps.
But she hasn't made her third attempt in any of the lifts so far with these big jumps.
Well, there's another statistic for you. Can she?
I think she has this
I
time.
think she might have this
There's a
time.
risk of a blue card, but I think it's... Oh, red card. And she's on the board. That gives her a 342.5 kilo total. Oh, excuse me, that was... I was looking at the wrong number there. 300. 300 kilo total. Teammate out next, Yui Okawa.
Last chance to change
Okawa.
openers. Last chance. There will be no more chances after
For
this
150.
lift this lift is given. The bar is loaded. 150 kilos. Yui Okawa, Japan.
This is a 2.5 kilo personal best for her. Oh, the brakes come on at lockout.
Won't quite go.
Nope. Nope.
And
Came close. Valiant effort.
No more changes.
So that gives her 3:35.
1:59
And I've
on
just
the
heard
bar.
no more
Very
changes
possible.
go in. So I'm just casting my eye down the second flight.
Bar is
I don't
loaded.
think anyone
150
changed.
kilos,
Oh, Donna
Corey,
Berglund went
Portugal.
up. Evie Corrigan went up 7.5.
I told you Evie's got a big deadlift on her. I've been paying attention to her training videos, and she can pull.
And
What i-
where's Joy? Where's Joy?
She stayed at 207.5.
She stayed at 207.5.
Nope, just changed to 212.5.
Wow.
Exactly as you asked that. It changed right in front of us. So looks like the change temps are being
And
put in the system as we speak.
So that was Louise Murray for 150, not quite there today, but we have one more change to report. Jad Jacob has gone up 5.
Jad Jacob,
So we've
195 opener. Like, these
Yeah.
are some monster lifts. Jad Jacob is, there was a lot of hype around her, and she's living up to that hype. Previously, it was training videos because her previous total is, she's going to blow way past that today.
Absolutely.
And total, so 2 for the
So
price of one.
we have Antoinette Creel from South Africa. She took the M2 squat record. She wants the M2 deadlift and total record. Very nearly a full set. Her second looked great at 155. Pressure's on. It's going, and I think it's gone.
Double world records.
And that is fantastic. 3 M2 world records on the international stage for Antoinette Creel.
And he does that at home with the home crowd.
Great lifting.
Denmark.
So next out, Matilda Østergaard from Denmark
The bar is loaded.
for a small PB at 172.5.
Denmark.
10-kilo jump from her second.
This is the last lift in the first flight. Just a little too heavy today.
Sorry.
She laughs it off.
Leaves her with a 377.5 kilo total.
And we are into flight 2. First flight on the bar. 150 kilos. Donna Berglund, Sweden.
So here we go. This is where we crown world champions. And Donna Berglund is going to lead us out with 150. She's clearly feeling good. She initially had 142.5.
Warm-ups must have been going well. Now, she was the heaviest bencher of this flight. Now opening up the deadlifts, and that's what happens with the bench press arms.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bar is loaded. 150 kilos. Donna Berglund, Sweden.
Not super comfortable. Left leg was locking and unlocking. Yeah.
She got colder, and I got to agree, that left leg just couldn't keep locked for her.
So I'd expect her to take the same weight again. Yeah, there you can see
Seeing the
it. just-
replay, yeah. Dancing around a little bit.
So one of the refs interpreted that as poor lockout, knees not locked. The other one interpreted it as supporting on the thighs. And I can see both points of view, really.
You can make an argument for both.
Anastasia Hein of Germany for 167.5.
This is a personal best if she hits it, but she's been doing that. This is how she's pacing.
Squats went well for her. Struggled a bit on bench after she had bench blocks slip away.
Good move there. Take your time. Get the bar where you want it. Don't chase bad money. Set up and be like, well, here's okay, I guess. Looks happy.
Nice lift, gets her opener in, makes the total.
Bobby Butters, Great Britain. Bar is loaded.
Next out for we have Bobby
Butters,
Butters
Great Britain.
for 167.5. Now her deadlift's been improving, it's not her best lift, and she has torn the skin on her thumb, and she does hook grip too. So let's hope that's not going to slow her down.
What does help the situation, this is Bobby Butters.
And the adrenaline must be coursing through her now. Great opener.
Her blood to adrenaline level is about 50-50. About 50-50.
So that's a strong looking deadlift for Bobby.
I couldn't even guess her resting heart rate.
167.5 kilos, Van der Speck, Netherlands.
Marleen van der Speck now for the same weight, 167.5. Once we're through the first round of deadlifts, we'll start to take a look at the placings. It's all shuffling around with every lift at the moment. Nice and easy there for Marleen.
167.5, 182.5 on the bar now. Martina Maltsova, Czechia.
Next out, Martina Maltsova, Czechia for 182.5.
She's hit 190, operating just 7.5 below her previous personal best, but only competing 2 years, so you know how the newbie gains work. Might have progressed well past that in training.
This is a big lift for a 57 kilo lifter.
Absolutely.
A few years ago, this would have been top of the tree.
Now we're in the 400 pounds already for 125-pound women. Opening weight.
Not super easy. Gets her on the board though. One red light for lockout, so that can be knees not locked or shoulders not back. Shoulders look okay.
Yeah, it all looks good to me.
From the side referee's perspective though, he's not seeing what we're seeing. It was the referee on the other side from our replay. So here comes Evie Corrigan opening with 187.5.
One of the medal favorites. Here's the problem. There's about 5 of them. There's only 3 medals. Do the math. Let's see how deads are moving for Evie today.
And they are moving well.
Good. Yeah, they're moving good. Evie, no major, and that's what I like. When there's no major celebration for the opener, because you're supposed to smoke your opener.
Absolutely.
When people celebrate, it's kind of like, really?
But that was a great opener from Evie.
Absolutely. Lots of room in the tank.
Same weight now for Maria T. Not having her best day, but this is her lift.
Yeah, she's won worlds with this lift. Let's see if she can pull herself together and pull herself onto the podium.
As she pulled for the win in Helsingborg. Won that day. Nice.
Oh. All right. We're back on track.
Okay, feeling good on deadlift. That's a fantastic opener there.
Yeah, if the Canadians have their confidence restored after seeing how smooth Maria T's opening deadlift went.
So here comes Jade Jacob.
Bar is loaded. 195 kilos, Jade Jacob of France.
This has come up as a deadlift world record, but I have the record at 200.
A junior?
Yeah, it's her record at 200.
Gotcha.
So 195 on the bar for Jade Jacob.
I think she's looking past records right now anyways.
I
to tell
think
the
so.
truth.
But she'll get the total, junior total world record.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, we're well past her previous best. Her progress has been phenomenal just in the last few months. And that moved well, too.
It really did.
Jad Jacob.
3 white lights. She, 465. She extends her own junior world record by nearly 15 kilos.
And this is just the opening.
We are not done yet.
Just to clarify, that was not a deadlift record for Jacob, it was a total record. Our apologies.
So Joy Namani struggled on squats, had a good day on bench, and now she's through to her lift. Queen of deadlifts, Joy Namani. Signature lollipop.
212.5. She's pulled 227.5. That's 500 pounds for a 125-pound woman.
Incredible deadlifter. So, this is a world record? Oh no, it's 220.5, that's right.
Yeah. Textbook Joy pre-lift.
Wow. 212.5 kilos like an empty bar.
So I have a theory.
Okay.
The squats was nothing strength-wise, only technicalities. The strength is there. I think she's going to start pulling away. I'm not putting the crown on her head just yet.
Well, these are the deadlift standings at the moment. Joy is well ahead of Jad Jacob, who is ahead of T and Corrigan, tied on the same weight. And this gives us, look at these totals. Jad Jacob and Joy Namani tied at 465. Bobby Butters only 5 kilos behind.
And even though Joy has the bigger deadlift, you know, the 227.5, we just don't know. The thing with Jad Jacob, we don't know what her numbers are. Coming into here, they are all well below what she's putting on today, so it's a total guess. Whereas Joy, we have a bit of a barometer because she's been around longer in this weight class and established.
So here's Donna Berglund as we move into the second round. She missed this. She just couldn't seem to lock her left leg. That's much better. Yeah, she's on the board. She's on the board and up into 6th place. Joy Namani has put in a world record attempt, 223.5 for her second. She is looking for a double chip, a kilo chip. That's a smart move because other lifters have chips here. In fact, only Bobby? No.
Bars loaded, 172.5 kilos. Anastasia High.
Yeah, only Bobby has a chip. So
You know,
that would give Joy a double chip.
If Joy ends up with the 227.5, what her previous limit would be, she's around 480. Am I right? Is my math off?
No, you're right.
So, Jad Jacob, some people predicting are around 480. Oh, my goodness.
I can't call this.
I'm just doing the math in my head here.
So we have Anastasia Hein from Germany right now for 172.5 for a second. And that looked tough.
With it, 3 white lights to High, 177.5 on the bar now. Bobby Butters, Great Britain.
Yeah, that looked tough to lock out. She got it all the way though, got it on the board. And here comes the phenomenal Bobby Butters. Looking to add 10 kilos. Move her up from 3rd to 1st, but obviously the other lifters have a chance to respond.
Yeah, Evie Corrigan is right on her heels.
Is loaded, 177.
Just 3 kilo away.
Bobby Butters, Great Britain.
Maria T, 10.5 kilo away, and this is in bronze medal position.
Shocking to see Maria down in 5th place right now.
It's just that tight of a race. It's like she's super far behind, but
And that's another 10 kilos for Bobby Butters.
I don't think she's even thinking about that thumb injury right now.
No, I don't think she is.
That's Bobby Butters this evening's problem.
I cannot call how much more she's got there.
Yeah, that was fairly smooth.
Mylene van der Speck next, Netherlands. She's coming out for 177.5. Her opener, I don't recall. I think it was very easy. Only a kilo now under her current best. Which won't be her current best for long by the look of it.
3 white lights.
Martina Moltsova, Czechia, coming out now for 185. Only gone up 2.5.
We got to pay very close attention to how these second attempts move. It'll be a good indicator on the third attempt selection, especially for the podium favorites. Is she in the wings? I don't see her. Is she letting the clock wind down?
Okay, she is not coming out. Her first was tough. She's not coming out for 185. But rather than scratch, she's left the weight on the bar.
Respectable, because it gives the other competitors a chance to breathe. Up next, then, will be Maria T. Now, if we look at this, we should really pay attention to Jad Jacobs' second and Joy Namani's second move, because they are in close contention for that gold. Joy Namani's previous personal best, 227.5, isn't far off. And we don't know where Jad Jacobs' top end is. This is totally new territory here today. She could be treading really close to the sun right now, or she could have room to grow and catch up.
Joy Namani's 227.5 that she did at the British Women's was quite easy. It was comfortable. So,
but that's domestically and
yeah,
travel.
That's without the travel and without the pressure as well. I mean, she had Bobby Butters that day, but this is a fierce field.
We got to pay close attention. Obviously, Canada's Marie T still smoked 187.5, should not be counted out. Deadlift is her event. If the other lifters start missing and she goes 3 for 3, we could have another shake-up here.
Maria T is coming out for 195 now. We are into some big numbers.
Seven and a half kilos.
But her opener was great.
Well, moved well. Moved like a second should.
Yeah, had some work to do. But that is a big weight.
197.5 on the bar now. Evie Corrigan, New Zealand.
That's a great second for Maria. Moves her up ahead of Evie, but here comes Evie to take that place back. In fact, this will move Evie provisionally, temporarily, up to second. There's a lot riding on this deadlift.
It's a 10-kilo jump, but Evie's got a deadlift. Let's see what she's got today.
Currently 12 kilos separating the top 5. It could not be closer.
Yeah, that's 5 lifters, 12 kilos. That's not much. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Nope, don't continue, Evie. You're going to waste your energy.
I think she figured that out. In the moment, it's hard to make that call. But I think that's just a technical error, lost her balance a little bit.
Yeah, sumo, what happens. She could still come back.
So here we go. This is Jad Jacob for a junior deadlift world record and extend the junior total world record that she set in her last lift. Now, because it's a junior record, she can't chip it. It'd be really useful for her to have a chip right now, but she can't chip a junior record in an open competition.
I'm very interested in seeing how this moves for Jad. If it moves very well, and she's got a lot of room to grow on this, Joy is under intense pressure. If it moves stiff, Joy's got a little bit of room to breathe.
So this moves Jade up into first place.
Oh, wow!
It was a tough break, but it shot to lockout.
Slow off the floor like sumo sometimes is, but once she broke the ground, Jade Jacob has fired a warning shot to Team Great Britain, and Joy Namani is in a battle for the gold.
Speaking of Joy Namani, here she is. She is waiting to come out for a world record attempt at 2:23.5. This will move her into the lead in the overall.
So close at the top. There are 2 kilos in it in prognosis between the top 3.
If Joy gets this, she will be half a kilo.
She's having to pull a world
In fact,
record to do so. This, ladies and gentlemen, is epic stuff.
yeah, she will be 3.5. Is that?
Yeah, 3.5
kilos.
Yeah.
Ahead of Jade.
I'm not
And
comfortable with how many
5.5.
times I had to do that math in my head. But I stayed silent, and you could tell I was working out the big math.
We've got a huge screen full of numbers here. The total is up against the prognosis, so it's a little bit confusing. But Joy needs this lift. We don't often see her in the position where she's challenged this hard. Having to pull a world record just to move into first place.
And then, you know, she's close to her top end after this, historically speaking. So
There she goes.
it moved like Jade's second. We're going, you know, toe to toe here.
This is going to go all the way down to the line. So it's great to see Joy Namani back on form. She gave us a real panic on squat. So here we go. This is the standings in the overall. Joy Namani has shot into the lead ahead of Jade Jacob, ahead of Bobby Butters, but there is 5.5 kilos covering the top 3, with Maria T 10 kilos behind and Evie Corrigan nipping at her heels. So has the French lifter given us a real shake-up here?
I mean, look it. I did a preview show podcast leading into this. A couple of gentlemen on there said Jade Jacob's going to shock people, rattle people. Rory Lynch, who's here today doing handling for Evie, said he had done the math on some of her training videos and said it adds up to something around 480. On my math right now, my gosh, if she has 480, we'll have to see.
Here's Donna Berglund, first lifter out in the 3rd round. We are keeping our eye on what Joy Namani is going to put in for a 3rd, but Donna Berglund has 155 on the bar. Looks nice. That gives her a 430.5 kilo total. And a big smile. Takes her 2 bench world records away with her, the 3 lift record and the single lift record. And we have Anastasia Hein coming out for 175. Her second looked a bit tough, so 2.5 kilos on it is reasonable, I think.
Bar is loaded. 175 kilos. Anastasia Hein.
Yeah, might as well come out. It's the last lift of the day. There's no sense conserving energy.
She's already got a 15 kilo PB on a total. That's a good day by anybody's book.
Yeah, even with the blocks movement on the bench press, probably has some extra kilos there if everything had worked in her favor. But that's how you're supposed to handle yourself at the World Championships. Things don't go your way. You just pick yourself up and keep moving.
Oh, it's a tough one, but she's got it.
Knocks it out. That was a fight for 2 extra kilos.
That's been a great day for Hein. She finishes with a 412.5 kilo total.
This will give her provisional gold with a few lifters to follow. A
Next out, we have Bobby Butters. She is fired up. She's ready to go. Looking for 185.
This will temporarily put her in first place, applying pressure to the deadlift artists to possibly miss, and Bobby Butters takes the crown.
Now
She's got to do her job.
She pulled this weight in Halmstad. She missed 187.5 at the British in March.
Can she split the difference?
I think she can. To move into first place.
Oh, the willpower and heart of Bobby Butters.
I don't know. Is she going to get blue cards? I don't know.
Oh,
She's
my
got it.
goodness.
185 for Bobby Butters to take the lead.
Bobby Butters has pulled herself into first place
That was a tough deadlift.
with several lifters still to go. Now the pressure is on these deadlift artists. They got to come through and nail their deads.
I've seen Joy Namani has put 225.5 on the bar. And that will match what Bobby Butters just did and beat her on body weight. First up, we have Mylene van der Spek, Netherlands, for 195. Move her up to third place in the deadlift contest.
Revving that engine, but caught just above the knees.
Just not quite going.
And so that was a good try, but it is no lift, I'm afraid. 197.5 on the bar now. Evie Corrigan, New Zealand change.
Oh, we have a change. It was going to be Evie Corrigan.
197.5 is on the bar, but the lifter is Martina Maltsova.
Yeah, she had Evie Corrigan had 197 on the bar. She's going to go up to 200. So the next lifter out is Martina Maltsova.
This is an attempt to get deadlift bronze, and the bar is
Now she didn't come out for now. The Czech lifter, she opened with 182.5. She didn't come out for 185. She's put 197 on the bar. I wonder if that was a mistake.
Yeah, I'm not sure, or else they just want to go all in on this particular lift and save their energy because it's a big jump.
Might be they didn't get the attempt in time, got a 2.5 kilo increment and went out and pulled the 190 in the back.
That could be the case as well. We're storytelling now, but we'll
You're right, it's all conjecture.
Yeah.
But that was no lift for Maltsova, leaves her with a 402.5 kilo total.
Evie Corrigan, New Zealand. This is an attempt also to get deadlift bronze.
So Evie Corrigan sitting in 5th place right now.
Look, Evie, she's like a bull about to charge.
This will move her to 4th overall. She can't get onto the podium, but this will get her onto the deadlift podium. She took the bronze in bench. Can she get a bronze in deadlift?
She wants to collect some medals. Also, look at moving from 4th to 5th. That is more points from Team New Zealand as well for the bigger picture. It matters.
Don't stop, Evie! Let's go! Come on! Come on, Evie! Come on, girl! Pull it now!
Oh, caught.
It's going. I think
I think
it's
she
gone.
locked it out this time.
Let's see those lights.
3 white lights.
That's a great lift for Evie Corrigan.
What a display of heart. Failing 197.5, coming back, upping it 2.5 kilo, hitting it, temporarily snagging a bronze medal in deadlifts, grabbing more team points for Team New Zealand.
So that's a 470 total for Evie. Currently got the bronze in deadlift. However, here comes Maria T from Canada.
Marie is saying, look it, if I'm not going to finish on the podium overall, I'm taking your deadlift medal, Evie.
She can't do better than 5th overall. What kind of a class have we got here that Maria T finishes in 5th place?
I got to wonder, so Maria T had finished with a 465 at Canadian Nationals when she didn't come out for all of her third attempts. So it's just not the greatest of days for her, but that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
And you work with what you have. She adjusted like a seasoned veteran would, and they're collecting the team points that are on the table for Team Canada and whatever medals along the way. Nope.
Not quite.
I'm sorry that is no
So
way
she took the bronze on squats, but that's the only medal that Maria is going home with today. Now 2 lifts remain, and
Okay.
we could not begin to call who is going to finish on the top step of the podium.
This is for all the marbles.
with just joy to follow.
So Jad Jacob is going to come out first. This is a junior deadlift world record, a junior total world record, and the world title on the line.
2 records and 1 potential title.
Can she pull herself into position? This is the 480 that people had predicted she might be capable of. It's a 7.5 kilo jump from her second, which looked smooth enough for a second.
And that's only half a kilo off the open total world record.
Jad Jacob,
The bar is
at only 21,
10 kilos.
is emerging as a major force in the 57 kilo class. And if she pulls off the win here, my goodness, what a story for Team France. Adding to the legacy of the French women.
To move into first place.
Oh, it's off the ground and
moving.
moving. She's locked it out.
She's got it.
Jad Jacob moves into first place in the 57 kilo class with 480.
She takes the junior deadlift record. She takes the junior total record.
Whoa.
And is she going to take the World Open title? One
Oh
lift
my.
remains, and Joy's gone up. She's gone up to the 228 she needs to win.
Oh, forcing the hand of Joy Namani is Jad Jacob of France, a junior from France. Talk about a sensational battle in the 57 kilo class.
Is it going to be 4 for 4 for Team France?
Oh, wow. Who would have thought?
But you can't bet against Joy Namani on deadlift.
She's like a Terminator over there right now. If she's stressed at all, she's not showing it.
You can taste the tension. The bar is loaded.
Toe to toe in the deadlift event, Jad Jacob and Joy Namani. Here comes the queen.
This will match the current total open world record. So here she is, lifts, ask for quiet, lifting beltless. She lifted no knee sleeves, no wrist wraps. Just pure strength. World title on the line.
Joy Namani gets it to her knees. Looks like she locked it out. And Joy
What did
Namani,
the referee say?
3 white lights, retains her crown in an amazing showdown with Jad Jacob in the best 57s in the world. Whoa.
That was incredible. That went on half a kilo. That was the absolutely phenomenal session. But as we said all along, you cannot bet against Joy Namani.
Listen, I am so glad it was this close. And hats off to Jad Jacob at 21 years old to be giving Joy Namani the scare of her life in doing a 480 total. Wow.
But look at the deadlift standings there. Joy Namani pulled 228 for a world record. It's ahead of Jad Jacob, who pulled 210 for a junior world record. And look at Evie Corrigan there taking the bronze medal in deadlift.
Absolutely amazing 57 kilo clash here. And look at Joy Namani now knows Jad Jacob at 21 is going to be a problem next year.
Absolutely. So we've got the final standings on the results on the screen for you right now. Joy Namani won with 480.5 ahead of Jad Jacob with 480, and Bobby Butters only 2 kilos behind with 478. That was absolutely incredible. World records across the board, world records in squat, in bench, in deadlift, and we matched the world record in total. That was a great session.
Look at so far, France has done absolutely phenomenal. And yet to come in the 66s is the world champion Pana from France defending his title. Make sure you don't go anywhere. We will be back.
We have the medal ceremony coming up, but then we have the prime time for today. It will be at 7 p.m. It will be the 66 and 74 kilo A groups. See you then.
First, the participation medals. Participation medals presented by IPF President Mr. Gaston Parage. And now it is time to present the medals, first of all, for the squat. In bronze medal position, with 170 kilos from Canada, Maria T. Taking the silver medal with 175 kilos from France, Jean Jacob. And squat gold with a new world record of 183 kilos from Great Britain, Bobby Butters! Well done, ladies. Epic fight. Thank you. Thank you. They've fought that hard, they can do what they want. Okay, bench press now. In bronze medal position with 102.5 from New Zealand, Evie Corrigan. Bench press silver with 110 kilos from Great Britain, Bobby Butters. And the gold medal in bench press with a new world record of 123 kilos from Sweden, Donna Berglund. Great job, ladies, great job. Thank you. Now the medals for deadlift. I think we all remember where this ended up. Yeah, we do. In bronze medal position with 200 kilos from New Zealand, Evie Corrigan. Deadlift silver with 210 kilos from France, Jean Jacob. And the gold medal on deadlift with a new world record of 228 kilos from Great Britain, Joy Lamani! Great job, ladies. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you. And now, The moment we've all been waiting for. The medals for total and the crowning of the new world champion. In bronze medal position, with 478 kilos, from Great Britain, Bobby Butters! Silver medal with 480 kilos from France, Jean Jacob! And your new world champion with 480.5 kilos. From Great Britain, China Money! Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Great Britain.
Everybody, please.
Well done, ladies. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that. That was amazing. Thank you, ladies. And now, if you'll return to your lines, ladies and gentlemen, let's give these ladies a massive round of applause as they follow the technical controller off the platform.